him a what up, fam.
Fam. I think I have
my man, dude.
better.
I don't know who was better, yours or Kyle. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Q&A on the JTsuits YouTube channel with special guest Archiezzle.
Hell yeah!
Welcome to the channel,
What's up,
bro.
man? I'm so excited.
I'm really excited to be filming this Q&A. We're here in LA. You came down here for the YouTube meetup. The next
meetup. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And yeah, it was funny. Kyle was just here with his wife last week. Now you're here in LA. This is going to be the hub. Expect a lot of military collaborations, a lot of awesome content coming from both of our channels. Check out, obviously, your channel is going to be below. The link to part 1 of this Q&A is going to be below. We're going to do part 1 on his channel. Part 2 right now you're watching. Obviously, we're here on my channel. So let's hop right into it. Let's just kick it into gear. Major Payne. Major Payne asks, Army versus Navy helicopter mechanics. Now I know you're MOS, I guess, for people.
I'm a medic. I'm a 6-day whiskey.
6-day whiskey.
As a 6-day whiskey medic, I worked in a military intelligence area, or S2. I don't really want to talk more about it.
Right.
Top secret.
Top ops, operations.
It has to do with intelligence, being a medic, and then right now I'm a detailed Army recruiter.
Yeah, so if you got really awesome content, you're gonna be able to push out now being in a recruiter billet. So definitely more information about recruiting, Army recruiting, is gonna be up on his channel. But to get into the question, Army versus Navy helicopter mechanic. Now I was a mechanic on in the Navy on H-60s, anti-submarine helicopters. And when I was in Japan, I got to see the Blackhawks. The Army, the Army Blackhawks. Dude, those are so badass. Just like compared to our Navy helicopters, like we have some pretty cool equipment on ours, but your guys are just blacked out. You got all your guns on both sides, your turrets.
Actually, that's the only helicopter that I've come across. Just for training, I haven't really been on it or loaded any patients as a medic, but it's always the Black Hawk for medevacs.
They are badass.
Yeah. I have a few buddies that, you know, I met in basic, I met in my older units that's a helicopter mechanic, but I don't really know what they do. Yeah.
No, but you know, for mechanics wise, it's probably pretty much going to be the same for what we're going to do on the helicopter for maintenance wise. You know, from what I saw, it looked a lot of the same components look the same from Army and Navy. But you know, I have a lot of respect for those guys, man, because you guys fly into some pretty heavy action.
I know.
Those Blackhawks are flying in there.
I feel like, is it more like combat related missions?
That's
why we get those. Okay,
that's why, because you know, in the Navy, most of our helicopters we're out on the carrier, and we're doing anti-submarine. We're doing you know, a little bit of search and rescue. We're doing, you know, just patrols around our area. You know, around our battle group.
I want to be in one of those, man. Not as a patient, but you know, just
I got to fly. I got to fly in Archiezzle. If you're part of a squadron, you will have the opportunity to you know, fly be in the cabin. It's really cool to fly in hell. It's a weird feeling. It's different than a plane. It's way different G-forces you're getting. So
I'm probably gonna throw up and pass out.
Yeah, no, I got a little nauseous. I was like, oh, this is weird. It was just like a kind of a first time thing. It passed eventually, but definitely squadron, helicopters, Army, Navy, they're all badass. Yeah. Nice. And I'm gonna edit, you know, obviously, which means I'll edit. I'm not gonna, you know.
Magic of editing.
Hell yeah. All right, Reese Benedict, this was a funny. How do you prepare for the Army and Navy football? We don't prepare. We know it. It's not really a big thing.
It's not a big thing. I mean, I think it's more of a personal preference too, because in the Army there's a lot of football fans and they like that stuff.
Yeah, I think
it's fine. No hating.
Yeah, no, I'm a big NFL guy. I was never really into college football though, and just the Army versus Navy. I was always fucking deployed, dude.
Yeah,
I was always deployed out on the ship, and I couldn't even watch TV. I couldn't watch any games.
I guess I'm lucky. I'm not really a big football fan. I'm more of a soccer and basketball fan. But when I was stationed in Germany, you know, we have time zones and time differences. The command will actually let us take a day off or like a late work call to watch the game.
What?
So I'll be like sleeping and they'll be awake the whole time.
Bastards. Yeah, dude, like on the ship, flight operations, when we're combat deployed in the Persian Gulf, that trumps everything. You know, it doesn't matter if the fucking Super Bowl's on, if the Pope dies.
They'll even open up like a screening area. Let's say a conference room. Someone will put up like cable or like, you know, like a what do you call it, projector
for you guys to
watch it. Especially single soldiers that don't have families or anyone to watch with. You know, they can just drop in and eat and drink.
Right. Yeah. So you know, I think we're so busy, like when you're actually active duty, you'll understand like you don't have time to think about, oh, the Army Navy football game.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm working a 15-hour day.
Yeah.
I just want to go home and sleep.
And the little things, those little gatherings, I know it's just football. It may not be a big deal for everyone, but it's fun, to interact with others.
Yeah, yeah.
Be just like a regular human being still.
Yeah, and that actually made me remember when we were deployed. You know that Navy, that movie about the aliens, what was that called? But there was this movie that came out a couple years ago about like the Navy was in it.
Okay.
And they had us watch the movie when we were deployed on the ship.
So you guys got
so we got a special showing of this movie while we're deployed, and like the movie is about like the whole fleet getting destroyed by aliens
on a boat,
and we're on the boat watching this. In like the middle of the Persian Gulf, and we're like, it's pretty cool.
Were you scared? Like at one point, like this shit might sink.
Like, well, there are some circumstances where Iran, they had their little speedboats with 50 cals mounted on the front.
Shit.
And they would come and they would mess with us. They'd play like chicken, like they had like 10 little...
These pirates?
Yeah, they played chicken. We had pirates on our boat too that we captured on our carrier.
Somali pirates?
Yeah, we had pirates that they captured them off of, I forget what coast, and they transferred them to our carrier, and we held them in our hangar bay. We held them in jail. The hangar bay was closed to everybody. Besides, I was able to go in there because our helicopters were maintained. So I was able to like work on the helicopter, and I'm like peeking, like, oh shit, see the pirates, man.
Holy shit, that's the real shit, right?
Yeah, it was cool, man. But
good experiences then. But
this got way off track. I don't even know where. We got off track.
We got off track, but if we're talking about Army versus Navy football,
you don't prepare.
Go Army.
Go Navy. Hell yeah. The game's next month, I think. It's in December.
I'm not
first week of December.
I'm not tracking.
All right, this next question, Brian Rotuno. Good one. Army officer versus Navy officer. What of our different experiences? What have we dealt with? Now, we all know butter bars.
Butter bars, yeah, brand new 01s.
Butter bars are, because you asked me when we did your other video, what's a butter bar? And I'm like, oh, butter bars are the same. They're all ensigns for us.
Yeah. For me, though, I respect...
What's your 01?
01, second lieutenant.
Second lieutenant? Okay, we're ensigns.
I respect 01s or like, like if they're NCOs or soldiers before they turned officers, because they actually know what soldiers or lower enlisted are.
They always give more respect.
Yeah, then, I mean, I respect a lot of officers also, straight out of college, really young, but it's just different because they actually know what we're going through.
Right, and we dealt with different sides of officers, because you dealt with probably more medical officers, being in the medical field, and I dealt with all aviation officers, pilots.
Actual technical stuff.
So we get like, I think when I worked with my officers, we had a really close relationship because I'm the maintainer. They're putting their life in our hands. We're working on that aircraft every day. We're inspecting their aircraft every day.
It can't be
and they just hop in. All right, we're gonna. They do a pre-check. They do a little walk around, but that's about it. They don't do a full inspection. They hop in. Woof, go fly.
That's a big responsibility right there, because if that equipment fails,
it's their life.
Investigation and life.
So you can. That's also a good way to see how stressful your job is aviation, and what we had to go through, because our chain of command, they're always like, if you mess up, that's the pilot's life. They put in their life in your hands. You can kill somebody if you mess up. Make sure everything's accounted for. So there's all that pressure's always in the back of your head. Like, if I fuck up, someone could die.
That's crazy. But you gotta enjoy your job also, and make sure that you actually will like what you're doing, so you're not gonna like regret it once you're actually there.
But dealing with officers,
I like what I said. Like, I respect a lot of prior enlisted officers, but a lot of them are really good. I have one tip, I guess, or like advice for you guys as enlisted or NCOs or whatever. If there's a new butter bar in your unit, don't try to be like an asshole. It's actually a great way to plant those seeds. And so when those 01s turn into 03s and maybe even field grade down the road, and you come across them, dude, you're gonna use those connections, and it's just nice to know someone in a different...
Establish a good rapport.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think a lot of the 01s, though, a lot of people, they don't like butter bars because they think they're hot shit. They come out of officer candidate school, they come out of ROTC, and they're coming straight into the fleet.
They know a lot already.
They think they know a lot, but they don't know anything.
Yeah, the actual situation, actual life scenarios.
Yeah. So, I think if you're going to be a new officer, if you're about to, get out of college and be an 01, just use your enlisted sailors or soldiers. Use us, because we're, we had been in 3-4 years probably. Definitely. And we know what it's actually like.
It's a mutual relationship. We learn from you guys, and we help you guys, and then, you can always count on us also.
Exactly. Actually, you're Sarge. So people just say, what's up, Sarge?
Sergeant.
Sarge.
Even E6 is Staff Sergeant, but they just call him Sergeant.
See, I wish we had something cool like that, but like a cool name, but we're just petty officer, second class. So you think like you hear petty and you're already like petty. You know, but it's, you know, E5 is E5. E5 is an E5 is an E5. It doesn't matter. But this next question from that cool kid Joe. Joe. He says, "Who are the nukes of the army?" So let me just.
A nuke.
So a nuke is basically somebody that scores, you know, really high on the ASVAB in the 90s. They work on the nuclear reactors on the ships, on the subs or carriers. They're just the really, really smart, book smart.
The geekiest.
The people that are probably gonna sit inside the ship and play World of Warcraft instead of going out and port.
For the army, I'd say the nukes are the MI people, the military intelligence people.
So your intelligence fields?
Yeah. They work usually with an MI battalion also. Like everyone's MI, they work with intelligence as in like reconning, like maps. It's all confidential stuff as well.
Right, opposite.
But usually they don't really hang out with us. They have like their own unit.
Right, they all kind of do their own thing.
Yeah. They have to do with a lot of security clearances. They have to do with like
so that's where all the smart
orders. You know, but there's like deployment orders. Like before it even trickles down all the way to the lowest private, they get the first notification about that.
All right, Stonewall CSA. Generally speaking, is advancement quicker in the Navy or the Army?
The Army is so quick, especially from starting from E1 to E5. I mean, there's still timelines, like you have to be an E4 for like, you know, 12, 18 months. It depends.
But you get automatic.
We get automatic. E4. E1, E2, everything up to E4 is automatic. E4 to E5
it's
and
test.
Higher than that, it's all, we don't even do tests.
You don't do tests?
We just do scores based on your PT score, your weapon squall, your military education, your college education. Let's say if you score really high,
tests.
If you score really high on the PT test, that's a lot of points.
Okay, so it all kind of is cumulative.
And then monthly, there's a point system broken out. Like E4 to E5 for medics, it's 500 points. Just an example for cutoff. So if you make the cutoff, you get pinned to E5.
Wow,
no test.
That's really interesting. Navy, E1, E2, E3, yeah, but E4. Test, E5 test, E6 test, E7 test. It's all, you know. So if you're good at tests and if you're a good worker and you get good evals, then you could, like, I made E5 in under 3 years.
For the Army,
I made E5 in 3
years. That's pretty good.
In 2 years and 9 months, I made E5.
That's pretty good.
So you can see though, because it's not automatic, but I was able to take my tests and do it really quick.
I took exactly 3 years to be E5, but I came in as an E3 because I got college education.
Oh, okay.
So
I came in as an E1.
Oh, damn, that's even better.
E1 to
Started
E5.
From the bottom.
Started from the bottom. E1 to E5 under 3 years.
Yeah, and for the Army though, there's just one thing. You have to go to an NCOES school, which is basically, they call it WLC before, but now it's basic leadership course. And then from E5 to E6, you have to go to ALC, advanced leadership, and then SLC for E6 to E7. Yeah.
It's definitely though not the norm when I made E5 so quick. You know, normally making E5 in the Navy, 4 years.
4 years.
So it takes, you know, if you're shit hot, if you're a good ass worker, if you get your shit done, you can do it fast. But it's just depending on the person. But like in the Army, you can be the worst, I guess, worker and just automatically make it, right? I mean, you can be like, you don't have to be like super shit hot to make E4.
Yeah, but
right? It's just kind of like,
it kind of sucks too, but
because then you get shitty leaders.
Yeah, shitty leaders.
Shitty leaders. Alright guys, wait, this is going to be wrapping up the Q&A on my channel with Archie.
Hell yeah.
And dude, as always, man.
Oh,
dude.
Before we end this,
I get the pillow.
He's getting the
YouTube pillow.
Past 10K subscriber play button, which is pillow.
I've always wanted one of these pillows, man.
You can have it, man. It's definitely for you.
Dude, hey, thanks for coming out for the Q&A. Thanks for coming out on the channel. Thanks for all the support, guys. Q&A the other part will be on Archie's channel. Crisscrossing, like what Kyle Gott said, we're cross-pollinating.
I like that.
But hey, thanks guys for all the support. And I'll see you guys very soon. Social media below as always. Goodbye.
Bye.
Based off of the last question, Michael Wasbowski, is it true that a 5 will look like a 10? You know, female-wise. Is a 5... you know, on the female rating scale.
I think it goes both ways also. I know
yeah,
females when they see guys.
You know, if you go a certain amount of days, when you go a certain amount of days out deployed, you know, you're the 4s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s.
They will go higher.
Anything with 2 legs. You get the things called the boat goggles on. So basically anything with 2 legs is fair game, man.
It's true. I believe that because you don't see a lot of females all the time. And eventually, you know, they start looking pretty. I guess.
Yeah, you know.
My wife is probably gonna be watching this, but you know.
My fiance too. Hey,
we talked about this before.
We
You know,
love you.
you
We
don't
love
see a
you
lot
guys.
of. You know, it will definitely be higher than 5.
Yeah, it happens. We call them boat goggles. Normally about 2-3 weeks, you know, maybe the first month into deployment, they'll start slowly kicking on.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bad situation too. Let's say you're in a platoon with all guys, and you have that 1 or 2 female who's usually a mechanic or like an MI person or maybe a cook.
Sexual tension.
It starts getting crazy because this single soldier is gonna start dating that female,
Yeah.
and then this guy's gonna get jealous, and apparently she's playing them both and all that. It's a setup for a failure.
Yeah.